In Star Wars, there is a strange phenomenon that occurs only amongst the most esteemed, powerful, and wise Jedi that allow them to transcend the physical plane after death, but in a way, live on and return to influence the living. The few that have achieved this great gift are known as Force Spirits. But this raises a very pressing question. If the Jedi can become Force Ghosts, can the Sith? And if not, why can't they? The answer to this question is actually not so cut and dry, and the reality is that there are many different answers that are dictated to what version of Star Wars you are looking at. To first try and explain it, I want to start with an in-canon, in-universe explanation. In canon, to become a Force Ghost is something that is dictated by release, not harbingering one's power for their own. In order to become a Force Ghost, one must have no foul inner intentions and become truly a part of the Force rather than just using it, but still maintaining yourself simultaneously afterwards. The best way to explain it is like this. The light side of the Force is the Force in its purest form, good and bright. The dark side stems from greed and selfish intentions and is a perversion of the light. The Jedi believe to be one with the Force and move with it as it guides you down the path that needs to be followed, while the practitioners of the dark side are quite the opposite. Those that use the dark side bend the Force to their will rather than moving with it and proceeding as a unit. They use the Force to further their own goals and obtain their power rather than letting it proceed more naturally. Because of this, the Force has a very rocky relationship with those that abuse it and use the dark. They can never truly be at peace in the Force because instead of working with the Force, they have it work for them, and thus cannot truly become one with it. You must have absolute peace, and I think this is no better illustrated than with a direct quote from the novelization for Revenge of the Sith. Eternal life, the ultimate goal of the Sith, yet they can never achieve it. It comes only through the release of oneself, not the exaltation of self. It comes through compassion, not greed. Love is the answer to the darkness. I really love the way this is explained, and is a big deal as to why it's so interesting. As it says, the Sith want no more in life than to obtain power and live forever, but they can't. Very ironically, the thing that the Sith desire most is what only the light and Jedi can achieve. This is actually a major factor as to why the Sith hate the Jedi as much as they do. It stems from pure jealousy of the other's potential. This causes most Sith to attempt to achieve as much as possible in life, this in most cases being conquering the galaxy, while on the opposite end, the Jedi are more at peace with their stance and thus crave less. To further prove that in canon Sith cannot become Force Ghosts, I point to an exchange between Yoda and the Force Priestesses, which are the entities he learned the ability from. Do you come to us with only good intention and the light in your heart? I do. Then the blessing I give and the training will begin. So to answer the question in canon, no, the Sith or dark side users may not become Force Ghosts because it inherently differs from their views. Many may be pointing to Darth Bane's spirit in the Clone Wars, and I quickly want to clear this up. That was an illusion based off of the trials Yoda was enduring in pursuit of the knowledge that he needed to learn in order to become a Force Ghost. The spirit of Bane himself is not actually present at the time. A big reason I bring this up and wanted to make a video is it appears as if in The Force Awakens, Kylo is actually communing with the spirit of Darth Vader, but as illustrated above, this shouldn't be possible. So maybe there is more at play here, and we need to look beyond canon sources and look deeper into the EU. In some Legends continuity stories, we have in fact seen Sith return after death, but it is very different than the way Jedi do. In order for a Sith to return, they must imbue an object or location with a part of their soul and power, in a way anchoring it so that it may return at a later date. Some Sith have even been able to do this on a massive scale, like Palpatine or Exar Kun. When Sith do this, they leave a piece of themselves behind that can still somewhat interact and influence the physical plane. A very common and good example of this is Sith holocrons, where Sith leave their knowledge and studies for others to continue, while also in some cases leaving a piece behind so that future Sith may better learn and interact. This is very time consuming and takes a lot of preparation beforehand, as it is not something that just occurs naturally like becoming a Force Ghost. Another, even more rare example of a Sith living on after death is when their hatred becomes so intense that they literally lose the will to die, and their very bodies are being held together by the power of the dark side. The most popular example of this is of course Darth Sion, who was unkillable due to his connection to the darkness, and was only defeated after being willed to die. So there's the answer. In canon, by all the information we have currently, the very short answer is no, Sith cannot live on after death or become Force Ghosts. In the EU, it's less cut and dry, with it occurring occasionally, but only under very specific circumstances and never naturally. I hope that I answered the question and that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button as it helps a lot. May the Force be with you, and stay tuned for more Star Wars, and have a great day.